If you're a maintenance supervisor for a commercial property, you've had to deal with everything from leaky faucets to flickering light bulbs. But nothing's worse than that ancient boiler that's lived in the building since the day it was built, 50 years ago. It's enough to make anyone lose their cool. That's where Grainger comes in. With industrial-grade products and dependable fast delivery, Grainger can help with any challenge, from worn-out components to everyday necessities. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Scott Becker with the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast. We try to make sure each day that you're learning something, you're entertained, I'm learning something, a lot of those things. So thank you for listening so much. We're going to talk today about 6 core concepts in business, 6 of my favorite concepts. The first concept is, we always say you got to dig 10 ditches before they start digging themselves. And people ask me, what does that mean? What it means is you have to put a lot of effort in and a lot of thinking till you start to get momentum and the flywheel going. Many people don't stick with the business because they don't get to that spot where they've dug enough that they've really figured out their pathway to profitability, their pathway to sales and winning. So you got to dig a number of ditches and constantly be thinking to get to where you got to get to. Second, you need to be very close early on to your business to really understand the business. And at that point, you could delegate, you could do a lot of other things, but you sort of have to understand what turns the levers in your own business before you get into the next phase of business development. Third, one of the concepts today that everybody talks about, and there's so much truth to it, is that culture is so important. And I'm in agreement with that. But culture is not everything. You ultimately need culture plus strategy plus talent to build businesses. It's really a mix of all of those things. It's not one or the other. People say culture eats strategy for breakfast, a famous phrase. The reality is it's culture plus strategy plus talent. Fourth, outsource everything in your business you can, but the core competencies you're trying to develop. So if you're trying to develop a great sales team, don't outsource that. If you're trying to develop great account management and you could do it internally, do it internally. If there's production things, if there's other tasks, other things you don't need to be great at. For example, in a very long time, for many of my businesses, we outsourced all the accounting and bookkeeping until we got to a certain size where we couldn't do that. But it didn't have to be a core competency. But it'd be a core competency was serving and getting customers and making sure we executed great for customers. Those were the core concepts. The fifth concept of the core competencies, the fifth concept we talk about is don't move the goalpost, or we could say don't move the damn goalpost. The concept is you got a certain amount of expenses and run rate per month. Where I see businesses get themselves in trouble is they're always getting into the next idea, the next plan, the next concept before they've actually, got to those goalposts. And so don't keep on moving your expense line until you figure out how to generate sales and revenues and get close to it. The last point I'll talk about is the difference in business plans. There's what I think of as the complex business plan, the medium business plan, and the no business plan. I think for most businesses, and in one of the businesses I built, it's an aside, ended up with the valuation close to $500 million. The concept is I'm a big fan of the medium business plan where you can really get your hands around what you are trying to do, what is your core, what is the goal. So that's sort of my perspective on that, sort of hit that, try and hit that spot, that middle business plan. The best businesses I've built have been business plans around 2 pieces of paper. The worst businesses I've built are where I really don't have a business plan. I just have an idea. Bad. Best, a simple business plan. Bad, no business plan. In any event, thank you for listening to the Becker Private Equity Business Podcast. Anytime you got a question, a comment, feel free. Text Scott Becker, 773-766-5322. Have a great day. Thank you.
Behind those cozy nights at home, thousands of employees at BP go to work every day. People producing more U.S. natural gas. People building grid-scale solar capacity. People turning landfill waste gas into pipeline-quality renewable natural gas. And people delivering all of that power where it's needed. They're part of the more than 300,000 jobs BP supports across the country. Learn more at bp.com/investing in America.